What's up, y'all? Today we are making strawberry cake, but I'm going to show you how to make a box cake taste just like a homemade cake. You want the recipe? Let's do it. Okay, now, so first of all, I'm going to use 2 packages of the Duncan Hines Strawberry Supreme Cake Mix. Yes, this isn't a from scratch recipe, but I'm telling you, once you're done doctoring it up, it's going to taste just like a homemade cake. Now, where your recipe says to add in the oil on the box, you're going to use butter instead. The way you convert this is 1 stick of butter equals a half a cup of oil. So most box recipes, depending on, could call for a third or maybe a half a cup. So if it's a half a cup, then you want to use 1 stick of butter. If you're doing a big cake like I am, where I'm using 2 boxes of cake mix, you're going to need 2 sticks of butter. Also, you're going to use milk instead of water. So, and it's the same conversion. So if it says a cup of water, then use a cup of milk. Half a cup of water, half a cup of milk. And last, the eggs. So if the recipe calls for 3 eggs, you want to add an additional egg and make it 4. If it calls for 2, make it 3. I make it a big cake, like I said, so I'm going to need 3 eggs for each one of these packages. But I'll have to add the extra eggs, so it's going to be 4. So I'll need a total of 8 eggs. Okay, now from here we are going to mix all of those ingredients well. You know, sometimes accidents happen and stuff just splash. So just ignore that cake mix on my shirt and all around my bowl. But anyway, you're going to, from here, follow all of the same instructions that are on the box. So you're going to mix on low for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're going to keep mixing for about another 3 minutes just to make sure all your ingredients are incorporated well and you have a nice fluffy cake. So I'm making a 3-layer cake. So I have 3 greased 8-inch round cake pans. And like I said, this is going to give me 3 layers of cake. If you're using 2 packages, you're definitely going to need 3 cake pans for this. So divide your cake batter evenly, and then it's going to go in the oven. You're going to bake it, as the box says, at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. Every oven is different, so make sure you just keep your eye on it. Okay, so I've made a strawberry buttercream icing. That recipe is on my blog, so if you're looking for a strawberry buttercream icing, you can find it there. I have shaved down my cake layers so that I don't have that bump and it's nice and flat on the top. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put the icing on each of these layers. Now what you see here is me putting some strawberry filling inside of the cake. I feel like that just takes it up a notch, especially with the, strawberry cake, and then you got the strawberry frosting, but then you have like the authentic strawberries in the top. And I mean, it's real easy. You're just going to take the strawberries, put them in a pan, cook them down with a cup of sugar, and just let it cool, and it'll kind of get this like thicker consistency that you see here. So it's, not wet, but it's like more of a jelly substance. So it's about a cup of strawberries and then a cup of sugar, and you just cook it down until, it starts to thicken up. You can squish a few of the strawberries just to give it, a little more thickness. Or you can buy like the store-bought pie filling. It does the same thing. Then go to the next layer and then just add more strawberries. And then I try to keep it close to the center, because if you put it too close to the outside of the cake, once you start putting your layers on, it'll start to bleed through the cake. So keeping it more centered is a method that I use. You may have a better one, but this is what I do. Okay, so just keep on doing that for each layer until you get to the top of the cake. And then, of course, you'll just smooth the icing out on the top of your cake. Then move on down to the sides of your cake. And like I said, I am not a cake decorator, so don't look for tips for that. And nothing is going to be nice and smooth. But I'll tell you one thing, it's going to taste good. Okay? So do the best that you can. If you're feeling fancy, I mean, take you a couple little strawberries, put you some on the side, you know, put you some on the top, just cut them in half and throw them on there. I mean, we doing it. All right, y'all, cake is done. Let's get it out, cut it up, see what it tastes like. I had this in the fridge all night, so that's another tip. It's easier to cut a cake when it's cold. It's a little less mess. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yep. Look at strawberries, some frosting. It's just something about putting the strawberries in the middle that just takes it up a notch. And it tastes just like a homemade cake, even though it came out of the box. You gotta make it.